Welcome back to Cancun and the third and final day of the Cancun Grand Prix. Often referred to as Mexico's favorite playground, Cancun is currently playing host to the latest leg of the IJF Judo World Tour. We're going to begin this final block with the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 90 kilo category. This features Fraser Chamberlain of Great Britain, and he'll be up against Rafael Macedo of Brazil. It'll be Chamberlain in the white judogi and Macedo in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Sinisa Skrbic of Serbia. And with commentary on this and all this afternoon's medal matches, it's a very warm welcome to former world champion Loretta Cusat-Doyle.
Good afternoon, Sheldon. And yes, as you can see the statistics on our screen right now, and you can see with the world ranking, which is a slightly difference apart, 48th from Fraser Chamberlain to Macedo at 22 position. Now this young man, Macedo, junior world champion back in 2014, and both of these athletes have had a superb performance throughout in their journey through to this bronze medal, just barely missing out in a place in the final. And here you have Chamberlain, who took out the #1 seed in his second round, which was a major upset and a real good scalp for this athlete from Great Britain. But as we see here now, they're just beginning this bronze medal match, and straight away Chamberlain comes in with that Kosota. We've seen quite a few times throughout the day, straight into the Niwaza transition. Excellent start from this young man from Great Britain. Macedo really needs to have his wits about him. The sharpness of this man from Great Britain has been phenomenal throughout the day.
Yeah, it was a big upset this morning, putting out the former world champion Maidov's first contest. Didn't look at his best, but to be honest, Chamberlain really did have the beating of him today. There was no luck involved in that at all. He just, was the better fighter today. So it's the second time that he's faced a former world champion. Early this morning it was the former senior world champion, and now it's a former junior world champion. He's making a bit of a habit of it, is Mr. Chamberlain. Well, what I like about his attitude coming into this competition is that he's been really straight from the beginning. He's taken control of the direction the match is going to go. He has good strong grips. He comes straight in for the attack. He is so hungry here for a medal, and he's been so close of getting medals throughout the year in some previous Grand Prix events, such as Tunis and Agadir, where he just missed out but stayed in the top 9. So he'll be desperate to get a medal here in this competition today. But a lovely technique there, Marotti Sianagi, and sadly for Chamberlain, it's a 7th place he'll be looking at this time, and Macedo will be, it's this 5th place, because we're looking at the bronze medal. I'm a little bit behind on myself, but Macedo there takes that bronze medal there for Brazil, and does it in absolute style with that Marotti Sianagi. We were talking about getting past someone's defences and how difficult it is to get off a technique once the person has got past your defence. And it's as though he climbed. He didn't climb on him. It was a genuine get through the defence from Macedo. But once he was there, very little chance of getting off. And Macedo proved that a little bit too sharp. He would love to have been around right through him.
Well, the Marotti Sianagi was just superbly placed, wasn't it? His hips was directly between the legs. He was backing out the back end, but he had the Marotti Sianagi, upper body control, got the lift, and over he went. Textbook style, wonderful finish there for the Brazilian.
Well, Chamberlain can look back at a really good performance here, because he's made his way to a Grand Prix medal contest, and along the way he knocked off the former world champion. That cannot be a bad day's work.
No, he's definitely totally agree with you there, Sheldon. I think he's had a brilliant day's performance, and there's a lot that he's gained from this competition, as well as a 5th place. There's no doubt there. That's a good result, and some vital qualification points, which is so important at this moment.
Coming up next, Nassif Elias of Lebanon faces David Klamet of the Czech Republic. It'll be Elias in the white judogi, Klamet in blue, and the referee in the middle. For this one is Friedrich Anna Maria from Hungary.
Well, for me, Elias he's been quite an exciting athlete to watch, and right from the beginning he's come out in a great performance. He's had some good matches along the way, and looks a strong character. Totally underestimated him at the beginning, came under the radar for me, but has been very impressive, and it'll be interesting to see how he performs against Clement in this bronze medal final.
Well, the background to Nassif Elias is that he was formerly of Brazil. He's Brazilian, but he's got Syrian background.
Right.
Sorry, Lebanese
yeah.
background. And prior to the 2016 Olympic Games, it didn't look as though he was going to make the Brazilian team. So he jumped ship, if you want to put it that way, or maybe I'll put it that way, and went to his ancestral home, if you like, or at least the home of his parents. Elias is a big Lebanese name.
That's right, yes.
And he ended up competing for Lebanon in Rio. So it was a kind of anti-hero in a way, because he was well received by the Rio crowd, because they knew he was Brazilian, but at the same time, he'd done a runner, hadn't he? He'd gone somewhere else. They didn't mind. They had plenty of others to fill those spots. And it's difficult to fault him. He wanted to go to the games, and there was only one way to get there. So
well, he's definitely fought well, and he has got his judo, and it just makes sense now, because when you look at his style of judo and the way he performs, he does really have that sort of Japanese Brazilian sort of flair about him, and that was what I found so impressive, which I didn't expect when I first saw him in the first round of this competition.
Yeah, we have, there's so many of them, thousands of competitors. How you keep track of all of them is neatly done.
Oh, that was a nice attack there. Elias coming in, scoring a Wazari, and with 2.5 minutes takes him firmly in the lead.
See, the only thing missing from that is, instead of having one hand that goes through the legs, it goes through on the arm.
Yeah.
So that, and I've had it described to me by Japanese as kataguruma.
Yes, it's just a variation. It's a variation of kataguruma.
Yeah.
And but nicely done.
It was, wasn't it?
It was good. Really controlled, and gives him good positioning now as a Wazari up with it's halfway to go. Still plenty of time for Klamet to come back on this now. A little bit of a drop there. I'm not quite sure.
Nah, he's all right.
The intentions. There's the Kochigari there. Well, there was a little bit whether he was going to go forward or whether he was going to take it. He left his options open, but what he did have was Elias up onto his toes, in fact off the mat at one stage.
We've seen a few of those today, haven't we? Aaron Farah of Austria, we'll see him a little bit later on. A few fights.
Farah for me has also been a great performer today. So Klamet really has to do some work now to come back into this contest. He's got 1.5 minutes to go though. Sasai attempt right on the edge of the contest area, and Elias just working his way off, trying to scramble away out of danger. A Shido apiece for both the athletes. Klamet trying desperately to come over the top. He opts now to come under the armpit, gets in a little bit close, but there's the kataguruma, the variation. Once more we've seen it. It worked the first time. Klamet was ready to react the second time in, but a good move there for the Lebanon. Now just coming up to 1/2 minute left. Clement really has to work hard now. He's got to give it all 100%. He's got nothing to lose, all to gain now. Kochigari attempt there from Elias that drops onto his face just to avoid any danger. But he should pick up a Shido, I think, possibly for this. But no, they're letting this one ride.
Maybe not.
No,
yeah, he does. He does pick up a Shido. Just makes it a little bit trickier now with 20 odd seconds.
It was a blatant drop.
Yeah.
It was a blatant drop. In 19 seconds, that timing still could give hope for Clement. Now, we obviously don't want to see a contest won on 3 Shidos for Hans Sokumaki, but what we're wanting is Elias to start engaging in this contest and not just hanging on and tactically keeping his opponent away.
He's going to step out.
And there, oh my goodness me. Well, Sutemi was he was very lucky there. A very lucky man.
He's gone again. You know, he'll be lucky to escape there. They're going to look at it.
I think he was very lucky indeed. If he gets away with that, I'll be surprised.
They gave him the benefit of the doubt with the first one because he sat down and he made contact with the leg, which you could say was Sumigaishi.
Yeah.
This time, let's see. Okay, he's going to get away with it.
Yeah. It's not a contest you want to see finish on a Hans Sokumaki, but I think in reflection, Elias has got to look back on that, and it's got to show him how close he was of throwing that one away.
Well, that is the nature of the young man. I've known him for quite a few years when he was competing for Brazil, and then we had a little bit of a meeting in Rio, but I won't go into that one. I can assure you it was memorable. Anyway, he was the one who came up with the score. It's always difficult thereafter. And
it was a lovely score, and he had a couple of opportunities there that he could have finished it for a Wazari Aseti upon. It was so close. But what you want to make sure is that this is why the rules are set, for them to stay engaged and not just try and steal it by getting the first score early stages of the contest and then running away for it for the next 3 minutes. And although he didn't do that throughout the contest, in the last 30 seconds of that contest, he was running.
Didn't look that pretty.
It didn't look that good.
We come now to the final of the under 90 kilo category. Marc Ordenthal of Germany faces Ivan Felipe Silva Morales of Cuba. It'll be Ordenthal in the white judogi, Silva Morales in blue. And the referee in the middle from this one is Hyun Suk-hee of the Republic of Korea.
Well, when you look at the statistics there, they're very close. But the only one that really sticks out there is 106 to a very low down on for me. Silva Morales is obviously silver in the World Championships, and but Ordenthal for me is a great performer, and I think there's been a move up into that weight category that puts him very low on the world ranking. So you cannot look at that result and think that they're miles apart, because based on performance they're so close, and either one of them could take this gold medal.
Well, what I think happened with Marc Ordenthal is that he had fallen out of favour with the German team, not because he did anything, on the contrary, it was because he hadn't done anything.
Yes.
He hadn't really performed, so he went down into tier 2.
The lack of it actually engaging in the competitions,
exactly,
participating.
So, and that's why we found him languishing in things like the Continental Cup in Celje and those sorts of things. He had to, and Sarajevo. But he was meddling there, and he was, he's putting himself back into contention. Well, now that they've picked him for this, Grand Prix here, he's had 4 wins in a row. So he's knocked off the first 4.
He's been performing so well today.
Grossklaus, Chamberlain, David Clamert, who we've just seen in the bronze medal match. He's beaten 2 people who fought for bronze medals.
Exactly.
And now he's up against, the highest quality fighter today, Ivan Felipe Silva Morales. Only Nemanja Majdov. Oh, caught him.
Yes. Beautifully done. Well, he anticipated that move very well. The upper body control there. The Tewaza was just nicely placing his opponent flat on his back. And what a win.
I'm going to put that down to being ring rusty from Mark Odenthal. Sharper with the lesser fighters,
yes.
But you know, you step up into Division 1 this is. Well actually, this is Premier League.
Premier League.
This is the Premier League.
Definitely Premier League, and didn't even break sweat there.
Just that little, you know, step up proved that bit too much. Silva Morales took it in his stride, really.
Looking forward to seeing the replay on this. He gets the lapel, 2 lapel grips there, one slightly higher than the other. Has a lot of control with the shoulders with that, but this time he came round the back, came for the Kosota. When he got the reaction of the resistance that he was expecting for coming round the Uchimata, all he did was that arm that was round the back, he just pulled into it and directed him around, circling motion, scoring upon. Beautifully executed there from the Kosota round the back. And all he really did was his upper body, he just a half circle action, rotating round without actually even engaging any more with the leg other than swinging it through. There is it, like an Ochigari. Beautifully done, nice. That was a great technique there, and so well controlled.
Coming up next, the first of the bronze medal contest in the under 78 kilo category. Beata Paquet of Poland faces Kaliema Antomachi of Cuba. It's Paquet in the white judogi, Antomachi in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Vasily Smolin Jr. of Russia.
Well, again, we're looking at Antomachi, great athlete, very, very strong, powerful. But Paquet, for me, has had a brilliant day. She defeated Powell for a place in this bronze medal fight and totally dismissed her. Beautiful execution of technique there. The Uchimata flows, those long legs, the long limbs, she takes full advantage of them. And definitely a gutsy performer here today. A lively little movement there from Antomachi as she's circling the fact around her opponent, comes over the top, takes the lapel grip, and she's got a very strong controlling sleeve. Hooks in with the Ochi, tries to sort of bounce it through for the Uchimata, but just making a mark as the one that's going to take control here. Paquet. What I like about this young lady from Poland is that she's brave. She really is. She does her judo, her style. She enters in there with the Uchimata. Oh, attempt there of an Ochigari as Antomachi came round over the arm, trapped it, hooked him, but just overstretched herself, leant too deep on the attack inside. Needed to square that up to make it more effective. And there the hit throw, oh, but so deep, but there was a reaction from the Cuban that drawed her back very, very strong indeed. Acute. coming in once more, but there she gets caught with what looked similar to the Sodi. Really get the arm across deep enough, but the legs were there in positioning. Kouchigari, Uchimata, good exchange of techniques there from one another. And Tomashi there once more has that left hand on the lapel. She comes over the top and then inside, very strongly based. Oh, what an attack there, Kouchigari. Then straight into the waza. She's got the shimmy waza. Oh, what?
Slipped off. Hand slipped off.
There.
Can't believe that.
Oh, I can't believe she got
almost
off of
took her head off.
That was so close.
And there was no question of that not being, you know, under the chin. It was on.
How she managed to get off that, I'll never know.
Could be a combination of Antomachi having, you know, pulling in one direction, and Paku just by pure chance turning in the right way, and the hands just slipping off. Because that was on.
That was definitely on. That was, and she'd done it from the coach. She stumbled her opponent back down. How she just slipped out of not getting a wazari as well. Yoso Tagari. Well, this has become a very interesting. There you have. Oh, I'm surprised that Pakut takes a Shido there after all that work. She's been working really hard out here. Very surprised with that one. But Antomashi comes over the top. Second Shido for stepping out. And she's starting to pile on the Shidos now, which caused a few problems, but this Polish girl's very dangerous. There's no doubt about it. She's got some great skills. When she connects with the Uchimata, she's got the Ouchigari, Kouchigari, those long legs, and she's still digging in deep. Advancing on to the Cuban. High collar grip there for Cuba. Comes round the back, brings the legs in the front for the Uchimata. Tamashi there. Oh, there you have it. Haramaka Komi. Right on the bell. Hey, well, perfect timing. And Antomashi there looked up as if to say, it was all in the hands, it was all planned. Very comfortable and so confident in herself, but my goodness me, what a match that was.
Yeah, a good effort from Beata Pakut of Poland, but it was Kaliema Antomachi of Cuba who came out on top.
Oh, goodness me.
A couple of Shidos were a little bit harsh there for Beata Pakut, I think.
I definitely thought so. There was no doubt about it. I thought it was a little bit harsh, especially when we saw that exchange from the Kouchigari. She stumbles her to the ground. She nearly rips her head off. I could not believe it. And how she managed to get off, that was her moment. And sadly, it just disappeared from her. But there you have it. Haramaki Komi, beautifully done. Wazari, no arguments with that. Be nice to have actually got the scoreboard in vision there, so we could have seen exactly the time. But, oh, nice. Very powerful indeed.
Coming up next, we'll have the second of the bronze medal contest in the under 78 kilo category. Karen Leon of Venezuela will be up against Samantha Suarez of Brazil. It'll be Leon in the white judogi, Suarez in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one will be Roland Poiger of Austria. Here's Loretta.
Yes, this is going to be a South American entry here. Both these athletes knowing each other very well, and as you can see, age 20, 25, the world ranking 25 to 26, 27, and when you've got wins by upon 8 to 15, the statistics there, they're similar in matching up, and which brings this to going to be a very, very tough match for either one of them to take this bronze medal. It's not going to be light work for either one of them, and unless someone makes a massive mistake here. I think we're out for the full 4 minutes and possibly beyond. For me, Leon has just been a little bit sharper, a bit more lively on her feet, and but you cannot write the Brazilians off at all. But I just felt that Suarez was just slightly flatter in her performance throughout the day than we've normally seen her. An exchange there, Osotogari, the Ashiwazas from Suarez. So, but Leon, you can see, really up for this. First couple attacks, but a little bit vulnerable there on the Ashiwazas.
Suarez lost out in her semi-final against Takayama Rika. She lost to the Japanese, who we'll see in the final. Karen Leon.
Well, the shimmy was there, but it's on the face, so it will be Mate.
Karen Leon lost out in her quarterfinal to Mayra Aguiar of Brazil.
Well, Leon really trying here. She is packing them in.
I think if Karen Leon can stick at it, I mean, you know, the competitive, the demands of international competition judo are very, very hard. But if she can stick at it, she's got a good future. She's got, again, another fighter, exactly the right build, you know, athletic, strong, you know, gutsy enough. It's a tough sport, and I know, you know, some fighters find it a bit difficult, but if she can just stick at it, I think she's got a good future.
Suarez coming in for the Cianagi, nice move. Works her way down into the Niwaza, but doesn't really go any further than getting that Mate situation. Well, for me, Leon has really put in quite a few attacks there. My only fear is that she'll burn herself out very quickly. As we know, Suarez is quite a strong character. She'll be very physical to maneuver in this contest. It's not going to be with the very strong gripping styles. Leon's doing very well with moving her opponent. That's what she really needs to do. She can't stand still. As soon as she does, the Cianagis are there, and those Cianagis are getting a little bit stronger now, because what we're having is Leon is just standing still. Just that little bit too long. She needs to move around. She needs to break up Suarez to get that opportunity. She's got those long legs, good Ashiwazas. Suarez likes the slower pace. She's been working like that throughout the day, and it is more comfortable for her at this moment in time.
Little over a minute and a half left to go. Penalty free, but no score as yet. Leon and Suarez.
She's the Ashiwaza. Suarez once more drives her down into the Niwaza, but doesn't really want to follow down there. Uchigari, Cianagi, good combination techniques there coming from Suarez.
She's not comfortable, Leon. She hasn't come back with a response after those two attacks from Suarez, despite the fact that she's got both hands on. She's just not comfortable.
Well, she left herself a little bit vulnerable there for what looked to be the Ouchigari. And now Suarez going in for the Niwaza, looking for an opportunity. She doesn't seem to be very strong in the Niwaza at this moment. Doesn't have the good reactions. Her transitions very, very slow. Obviously favours the Tachiwaza. And first Shido goes to Leon. Suarez circles her opponent. Takes the grip on the lapel. Now the lapel sleeve to the left. Trying to get a reaction. And there you have it. Beautiful combination of techniques there. Opening Leon out so she could come through with the Seoinage. The Osota, the Kochi, then pops through for the Seoinage.
She caught the #1 seed with the same combination earlier on, didn't she? Natalie Powell.
Yep, nice technique.
The same way. Well, Suarez obviously will be pleased with that performance, a bronze medal for her, but I'd say again, as we said quite often over the last couple of days, that is not a bad result for a 5th place finish for the youngster Karen Leon from Venezuela.
Not at all, not at all. She's actually a very good athlete, and like you say, given the right exposure, she could be a real contender out here. Osota, Seoinage. Well, this time it was just a double act. Normally she has that little Kochi as well.
Yeah, the combination that she caught Natalie Powell with was the Kochi, and then we had Natalie Powell stepping forward just 2 little steps.
It's a very effective move, isn't it?
You're just settling, aren't you, after the first attack?
Nice combination.
Yeah. She's just looking to settle, and then she launches that attack.
A really nice Morote Seoinage. As you can see from this angle, through in, right through the middle, and a big drive at the end. And punches the air as if to say, yes, I've got it.
We come now to the final of the under 78 kilo category. Takayama Rika of Japan faces Mayra Aguiar of Brazil. It'll be Takayama in the white judogi, Aguiar in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Vasily Smolin Jr. of Russia.
Well, we've watched most of Takayama's fights today, and she has been quite impressive, and no one's really come close to beating her. And but we haven't seen Aguilera much in this competition, but we know she's a strong athlete and has had some great performances throughout the time. The Brazilians have got a strong team out here, some good performances, but in other cases some flat performances, and I think possibly we just expect too much. That's the thing, we just expect far too much from the athletes. And on a bad day can still get medals. Aguiar, as you can see, with the left hand round the back, controlling her opponent's right side. Bit of a clash to heads.
I've seen a few of those recently.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? We saw
Aguiar taking one, where was that to? The nose or the mouth or something? Whereas Takayama, it was top of the head. It didn't really trouble her that much.
And straight away, Aguiar there, good strong grips, works well, looks quite powerful, knows how to control Takayama. Keeping that sleeve down. Now comes round the back. Very deep. And Takayama drops to the ground. Looked very uncomfortable. She'll pick a Shido up, I think, for that one. And there you have it. A little bit of a false attack, but the threat of that arm coming round the back was most probably the better option for her to drop out of sight rather than trying to deal with it in the Tachiwaza position. Oh, there. Aguiar on the Uchimata, stumbling backwards. Well, the Brazilian drawing her opponent down. Sutemiwaza attack there, the Sumigeshi. Takayama now trying to draw between the legs there, working the Niwaza. Once more, Aguiar round first of all onto the back, but now opts for the trapping of the right side. Left hand on the lapel, takes the sleeve, controls nicely with the kumikata. Takayama finding it difficult to get past those defences. And a Shido apiece for the lack of engagement. Straightway throws that arm over quite aggressively, stumbling Takayama back. Oh, Tomonagi.
You can see from the way that Aguiar is moving here and the way that she's managing the contest that
definitely.
We're not looking at the number one Japanese here. This isn't, Mayra Aguiar, double world champion, Olympic bronze medal winner against the top Japanese,
yes,
or even the number two. This is actually the number 4. So this is the level that becomes, more than manageable. You kind of look to Aguiar to win this one.
Well, yeah, you would think they would be miles apart, but they're really not, are they? Aguiar is really having to play a very cautious game. She doesn't look, well, she's obviously comfortable enough and confident to winning this, but she's not going to win it with the big score. What she's looking is to be tactically working this match, and when she gets the opportunity, whether it's the Kochi or whether Uchimata, but she's going to use her feet, she's going to upset Takayama, and she'll be quite happy to take the win the way it's going right now. It's an accumulation of Shidos here. She's got a good strong left controlling lapel grip that's blocking the right side of Takayama, causing her a few problems here. She knows she can't start bouncing around too high because the ashiwazas are so good. Now Takayama comes in for the Uchimata there, leaves herself a little bit vulnerable, but it's because of that left controlling lapel grip that she's got that's causing so many problems now.
Golden score is needed to sort this one out. We've just started with that.
Well, Aguiar once more takes that lapel, controls the right side of Takayama. Just a few little taps on the feet, really not what you would call ashiwazas. More distractions to each other. But again, it's playing into the hands of Aguiar, but that's a very poor attack there, very poor. And she'll get a, well, she's lucky not to get a Shido on that one. Referees let that one go. I suppose there was a lot of movement, but I think they maybe have another look at it there.
Yeah. It's a thin line between failed and false, and there was a good deal of fail in that, but unfortunately there was more false.
Yeah. Well, Aguiar has now changed her grip. She's come round the back. I think this is a dangerous move for Aguiar. She comes round the back. Where was she coming into on the lapel? That was controlling nicely, and she had full control of the movement and was able to block as well as do a judo. She comes round the back. She'll leave herself wide open for that Seoinage. She goes back onto the lapel again. Nice ajiwaza. Stumbles Takayama to the ground. Doesn't want to exchange in the niwaza. Definitely this match has been dominated, the pace, the moves by the Brazilian. She's been very clever in this match. Not the most exciting match, but there's been a lot of tactical moves here being made, and there's been a few opportunities, but two very strong quality athletes in this final. There's Uchimata, nicely entered there from Takayama. One of the best attacks she's put in yet. Now Takayama takes the first grip. Aguiar comes over the top, blocks the right side lapel again, takes the sleeve. Takayama trying to work. She's desperately trying to get in on that right side, but that elbow that's tucked in quite nicely is dominating. But it's two shidos apiece. Either one of them could make a mistake here, but I just feel that Aguiar is just played that game far too long now. We need to see a couple of real strong moves. That's one. An attempt of the Uchimata, but it was short-lived. That it was a bit of a show rather than a real commitment.
She didn't have the strength for the second part. You know, that should have been, you know, left leg around the back, taking her down.
And you know, I don't know if even if it's like that she's got the strength. I think she just doesn't want. I don't think she's brave enough to really commit. I think Takayama has got more opportunity to just give it all and throw a big one in there than Aguiar, for me, has just been showing her technique. She's not been committed, and I think this is where you're going to get. I think the Brazilian could pick up the third Shido now. And part of me thinks that Aguiar knows this.
Oh, she was lucky there.
Let that go. They've let that go.
She was really just out on her feet.
I think she thought that she was going to get that third and final Shido. I really did.
Well, as you were saying, it's not the nicest way to end the contest. Oh, now we're stepping up another gear here, aren't we? Because not only did she come in with the big attack, she was up on her feet, ready to show some near was
probably one of the best attacks so far.
Yeah.
And she's willing to commit. This is the thing. She's brave enough to say, well, do you know what? I'd rather go out on a big throw than actually lose it on a Shido and a Hansokumaki. Takayama doesn't want to do one way or the other. It's got to be a throw for her. But I think for the Brazilian, it's been tactics all the way through.
One big attack here from Takayama, and they'll call an end to it, because you know Aguiar is passive here.
Yeah.
We've had two big attacks from Takayama. I wouldn't call that last action there a third, but
no.
definitely she's 2 attacks up. And if Takayama's clever, that was desperate, wasn't it?
Well, do you know, it was a gutsy one. That's the first time we've seen her really explode like that in this contest. But she will get it because she lost control. She just threw that in. I think she knew she needed to do that. It was all or nothing, and she just totally mistimed that one completely.
Just threw herself at Takayama in the hope that she would grab hold of some part of the gi, that she could launch some kind of attack. Osodogari was in mind, wasn't it?
Yes,
It just didn't materialise, and Takayama Rika, as Loretta was saying, it's not the most exciting, but she manages to get past the Brazilian. I think a lot of that had to do with the drain in fitness levels towards the end, but there you are. It's a gold medal to Takayama Rika of Japan. We come now to the awarding ceremony for men in the under 90 kilo category. The bronze medals go first of all to Nassif Elias of Lebanon, and there's a bronze medal too for Rafael Macedo of Brazil. Silver medal goes to Mark Ordenthal of Germany. The gold medal goes to Ivan Felipe Silva Morales of Cuba. And now the national anthem of Cuba. There you go, there is the winning quartet. Elias and Macedo took bronze medals. Ordenthal, the silver, and Ivan Felipe Silva Morales, the gold medalist. Right, we come now to the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 100 kilo category. Rafael Buzzacarini of Brazil faces Cyril Marais of France. It'll be Buzzacarini in the white judogi, Marais in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Orlando Cruz of the Dominican Republic. Here is Loretta.
Thank you, Sheldon, and yes, this is going to be a very interesting match. Marais, for me, a real outstanding athlete and gives a real show out when it comes to these events. Had a little bit of a dabble in the plus 100s not long ago, but he's firmly back in the under 100s and battling away now for a third place bronze medal here today. Zuccarini straight out on the attack. Tries to overstretch himself, takes the lapel grip there with the right side, right to right. Marek there, nice strong grip. Tries to come round the back, finds himself on the receiving end though, as he went down into the Niwaza. Right to right gripping, but there's the Marotti Cianaghi there from the Brazilian, straight down into the Niwaza, and he's got his sights on that arm lock there as he tries to draw it out. Good transition into the ground. Well, that was a great start for Zuccarini of Brazil. Cross grip, he will get a... Oh, Marek takes a Shido there for what looked to be a pistol grip, or the hand inside the jacket. Well, an infringement on the gripping. He picks up the Shido. 2 minutes 15 seconds. Coming up to the halfway mark in this contest, and this has turned out to be a very tough bronze medal match. Marek coming in for Harai Makakomi, losing a little bit of control as he rotated around. Elbow just tucked up a little bit too high and lost the power there. Back to the similar gripping styles, lapel and sleeve. Marotti Cianaghi once more, I've seen that twice now, both very effective. And both times Marek really couldn't see that one coming. This time he comes high now onto the collar, but he gets caught up almost there with the direct Makakomi, but this time it was just below the elbow, so could avoid that a lot easier than he had done in previous. Goes once more for the high collar grip, trying to draw Brazilian's head down. Marek holding on to that sleeve, controlling now quite nicely, trying to set it up with the Ouchigari. A return with the Ouchigari from his Brazilian opponent. Zuccarini coming in again once more for Marotti Cianaghi. This time didn't get in as deep as he had in previous occasions. But Marek was straight into the Niwaza, trying to look for something down there, but sadly very little on offer. Now this has most probably been the best match we've seen the Brazilian so far today. He's really livened up in this bronze medal contest. He's looking very, very sharp and has dominated the pace of this contest. Marek's been really on the receiving end of two very strong Cianaghis. One Makikomi, and still to see what Mare is capable of doing in this contest. Sodi, beautifully executed once more, so close. Now the Brazilian looking to transition into the Niwaza. So again, another strong attack from the Brazilian, with 11 seconds remaining in this contest before we head through into golden score. Mare with 2 Shidos on the board, really hasn't had a look in at this moment in time of the past 4 minutes. Can he turn this around in the golden score? Well, we've seen many an athlete that has managed to do that, but does Mare still have anything left in the tank?
I'm surprised that Buzacarini has got so much left in the tank, given the fact that, you know, earlier on today he was flagging a bit, but here he is.
Yep. He was looking very flat, and for me, he's really brought his game in to this bronze medal fight. There's no doubt about it.
Missed the chance there, Mare. That's unusual. Mare is so good in Niwaza. You give him an opening, and he just seemed to slip. He slipped off the top part of Buzacarini's body there.
Well, Mare knows he's got, and there's another attack. Buzacarini, but for me, has performed outstandingly in this, the best performance of the day for him in this bronze medal contest. But that was a poor judgment there as he tried to wind in what looked to be a Makikomi, but he didn't actually have any upper body control.
That was better.
Mare coming down now, looking for the transition into the Niwaza, but again, very slow to react.
Mare.
And it's so much sharper normally in the ground.
Mare's got to come up with some attacks. Buzacarini's just throwing everything in there.
Buzacarini has come in with those Cianagis. Well, there we have it. I think it's done and dusted now. I think the referee has seen enough.
Mare can't argue with that one.
No, I don't think. In fairness to him, Buzacarini really came out fighting right from the beginning. He dominated this contest throughout. First to the attack, the Cianagis one after another. Mare really couldn't get settled at all in this contest. Not at any stage was it his match.
Yeah, I think you're right. He came out, you know, very, very busy, did Buzacarini. Mare, as you say, didn't have a real chance to settle. At the same time, on the odd occasion that there were openings for him that he would previously have taken advantage of, he couldn't, for whatever reason.
Especially in the Niwaza. Yeah. There was a couple of opportunities there that on a good day for Mare, he would have been in there like a shot, no problem at all, and have won in the ground. Straight away, the Sodi there, beautifully done.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal contests in the under 100 kilo category. There's another Brazilian in there.
Another Brazilian.
There is indeed. This time it is Leonardo Gonçalves of Brazil. He's up against Aaron Farah of Austria. It's Gonçalves in the white judogi, Farah in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Ramzi Shamirov of Tajikistan. Here's the Loretta.
Right. For me, Farah has really been exceptional throughout the day, and sadly had to come up against his teammates, which does happen from time to time, but he's here now battling away with another chance of a medal, and on performance definitely deserves it, there's no doubt about it. But he's up against a strong Brazilian, and he's just watched his teammate take the first bronze medal, and I'm quite sure will want to repeat in the same performance.
He may have watched his teammate, but I hope he's been watching Farah early on, because he's likely to get ambushed here. Farah is the kind of fighter that just leaps on you, you know, and there he goes.
Especially when he gets the chance of the belt, there's no doubt about it. Farah is very brave when he comes and engages on that belt. He clambers up on his opponent,
Now, you know, there may be a few people at home that are asking about the cross grip. The cross grip is allowed. There's no problem with the cross grip as long as Farah attacks. And if you notice that as soon as the grip goes over and he's got both hands on, he's gone again.
Yes. Oh, and that's
Yeah, and well, we warned Gonsalves. If you weren't watching, you wouldn't have seen it.
Oh, he did it all day, hasn't he? That was the biggest danger. He gets one hand onto the belt, and then he gets the second one, and then he just gets the power, the core strength of the man to be able to get that leverage, and just with such style.
Well, we were looking for it, weren't we? We expected that.
There's no doubt about it, that was going to happen, wasn't it? But it was just a matter of time. I just didn't think he was going to get the chance so quickly.
Poor old Gonsalves, no one warned him.
Gonsalves, well, he should have been warned. He should have watched that, because this is where this young man is impressed. Oh,
just watch the grip, Loretta, as he takes hold. This is the important thing. We're going to see the execution. Again, it's just right at the beginning. He cannot grab around the waist at the same time. No, there's one on the jacket inside first, and then the arm goes round.
No, there's nothing wrong with the grip at all.
Absolutely not.
Nothing wrong with it. In fact, it is fantastic that someone is so brave. You don't normally see that someone will engage so deeply. But what I love about it, he gets the first grip, he gets the second on the belt, he lifts him up as if he's actually going to go, which he could go for the Makikomi, but what he does is he swings him back as if he's coming in for the Ouchigari, and it's just where he could swing him onto the hip, he swings him back to the rear, and if he didn't really get connected too much with him driving to the rear, he could catch that leg as well at the same time. There's a possibility for the Ouchigari. Brilliant attack.
As soon as that technique was executed, all eyes looked left at the replay table. No problems with that.
No problem.
Anyway, we come now to the final of the under 100 kilo category. Laurin Böhler of Austria faces Niaz Bilalov of Russia. It's Böhler in the white judogi, Bilalov in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Jefferson da Rocha Vieira of Brazil.
Well, as you can look at the road to that final, and they've had some real challenges along here, but for me, Böhler has been quite impressive, but his Austrian teammate has also, the Austrians in general have had some success here this weekend, haven't they? And he's just another one that's seen his teammate go out in style there, taking that bronze medal, has got to lift his confidence. They both battled against each other, and Böhler was there as that win into the final. He'll be wanting to take this gold just to keep himself a little bit further away from his teammate, especially on that podium.
Someone's going to get thrown here, because these are two big throwers. Yeah.
Ouchigari there.
Nervous times.
Oh, it just keeps you on the edge of your seat. I'm like holding my breath, waiting for the next move.
Don't look away.
It is. It's one of those situations that if you blink, you might miss it. Böhler, as you can see, with the shoulder coming in, switches. Sianagi.
It's good there, because Bilalov was pushing forward, so it's the right thing to do. Also broke that grip up that Bilalov had.
Bilalov, for me, has been quite exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And is an entertaining judoka. He's a pleasure to watch his judo. He can show some real sparks of excellence in his skills. Böhler, for me, but fighting against his Austrian teammate in that semi-final was a great match. And we've just seen what his teammates capable of doing, and you just sort of hang on to that, don't you, really, when you watch his teammate out here who's just defeated him.
Bit of a stalemate here with Laurin Böhler being extreme right and Bilalov being extreme left. So you get that odd shape where they almost look as though they're standing side by side instead of front on.
And it's a long way to travel when you're left on right and right on left with their opponents. It's that sort of turn that you've got to make. You either go to the same side, which is the short route, or go for the
right-sided,
or you get that fancy spin in,
which we did see Böhler do.
Böhler has done that, So it's really, which way does he go? And it's really down to if he's gutsy enough to chance it here in this gold medal contest. And he takes the lapel and then takes the sleeve, looking for the sodi. Oh, and he takes to the side, he looks for the Kosota. Böhler was there, stumbled his opponent, didn't get the full force of that throw, but again it was a little risk that Böhler was managed to take. Well, Bilalov, you can see, you would get a sense of feeling that he's most probably going to try and go for that Uchimata, but without that sleeve it's going to be almost difficult, and when they're sort of left to right it's such a long reach to try and get the second grip. So you either take the lapel and then reach forward to the second lapel, or get the first setup of the Kosota, hoping that they will set back and take the bite to be able to then catch the arm.
Haven't seen any flashes yet from Bilalov.
No, definitely not.
Really quite a staid performance from him. I think that's because he's really watchful of Böhler.
There. Well, that was a turn. That was where completely moved right through. Böhler looks like he's got a little bit more life in him there, and Bilalov just playing a bit of a waiting game. Slightly apprehensive. A little bit too much of a thinking time for him at this moment. Trying to work this out, but while he's thinking, he's not really engaging too much. And Böhler is really doing a lot more work out there, and Sutemi was her attempt there.
Just stepping things up, isn't he?
Yep, he's starting to take a little bit more onus in this contest. Both getting that little bounce in their step, trying to liven up. It's really been tight. And now we're into golden score. Uchigari. Böhler coming round the back and then forward. Combination of movements there, just trying to feel the water here. He's not 100% committed for the attacks, but he's trying to see what reaction he's going to get from the Russian.
Well, it's no surprise that these two are so closely matched. 18 and 22 on the IJF World Ranking list, so very, very close. Böhler really needs to stay strong here. If he doesn't get caught, he'll wear Bilalov down.
Definitely. I think if he continues with the same strategy as what he has done in the past, but there is that. Yes! Kochigak! Wow, he walked onto that, and Berla will be sick. Totally disappointed on that one.
Well, we just said that if he doesn't get caught, he's going to take it. But his arms get trapped.
Yes.
He can't move. There's the hook in.
And there was no escape off that. Definitely no escape off that technique. That was really nice. It was a really interesting match, and it was well thought out. And Berla, for me, did so much work in the first 4 minutes of that contest. And as soon as we see it happen so often, don't we? Comes to the golden score, and it's switch roles. Totally switch roles.
Well, the suggestion was that it was going to be close because they are so closely matched.
Yes.
On the IJF World Ranking list. It was a good contest. We, expecting fireworks early on. That didn't materialise because they were just too close to each other. But it did end with a bang.
Oh, no doubt about it. But you know what? I think if Farah was in the final, we would have seen a big bang on that one.
Yeah,
it would have been.
Berla didn't open up. He didn't open up as Farah would. Farah's going to come out there and absolutely go crazy.
And that's why I thought that Farah would have played a different game there, and we would have seen a really big throw. There would have been no doubt about it. There would have been, which way it would have fallen is one thing, but it would have been big. It wouldn't have been as cagey as what we've just seen there. That was a bit of a safe match.
Yeah.
But Berla, he played it right, but I think Farah would have been much more explosive.
As it turned out, it was Niaz Bilalov who did the exploding. Look at the grip there on the sleeves,
Yes.
just trapped.
Here we've got it again. The Sianagi, but the Kochigak, banged him over.
Once that leg gets hooked in there, there's nowhere to step off.
Braced himself on the Sianagi, thought he was going, he braced, he dug his heels in, but look at the weight, going back onto the rear, and he went, oops, wrong direction. Nice combination there.
We come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 78 kilo category. The medals are being presented by the International Judo Federation referee and supervisor. Double Olympic silver medalist, former world champion, Neil Adams. And the first of the bronze medals goes to Samantha Suarez of Brazil. There's a bronze medal as well for Kaliema Antomarchi of Cuba. Silver medal goes to Mayra Aguiar of Brazil. The gold medal goes to Takayama Rika of Japan. And with that gold medal, she maintains her 100% medal record at IJF events. Never been off the podium. Every time the Japanese send her, she wins.
And I'm just surprised, I'm still wondering why she's the only one that's participated here.
I shall ask her.
So that will be very interesting.
Because
it really is unusual, isn't it, to see one athlete, one from Japan. I've never known it. All the times I've competed, look at that little face.
Terrific smile.
Never known for all the time we've been here, have we ever seen, if there's a Japanese team, ever been just one Japanese athlete.
Two more weight categories to bring you, but before we do that, we'll have the national anthem of Japan. Suarez and Antamachi were the bronze medalists. Aguiar took the silver. It was Takayama, beaming, smiling Takayama, who took the gold medal. Right, we come now to the first of the bronze medal contests in the plus 78 kilo category. Sarah Adlington of Great Britain faces Beatriz Souza of Brazil. It'll be Adlington in the white judogi, Souza in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Lubomir Peter of Australia.
Well, neither of these athletes competed against each other, but on the world ranking, Adlington down there at number 18, where Souza in the 10th position, not miles apart from each other. And when you look at the other statistics, again, very evenly matched. It's going to be a real tough competition between both these athletes. We've just got to sit back and see what happens from now. Adlington just at the World Championships with 5th place. Just missing out on a medal there, and we'll be hoping to pick up one here. Both exchanging very strong grips. Souza, as you can see, in the inside, which makes that grip much stronger than Adlington's. She decides to come round the back, still trying to battle to get the more dominant grip, but has taken second best at the moment against Souza. Souza there was the right high collar grip, elbow tucked in quite nicely. Well, it's dominating, but she's not really doing anything from it. And there's an attack from Adlington. She steps across, an attempt of an Uchimata, but she's obviously plagued with that right hand high on her collar as she's been backed up into the edge of the contest area. And Souza trying to set her up, but still hasn't put an attack in. Here we have an attempt so far from Souza. Well, both picking up a Shido apiece. Well, neither one of them have really put a strong attack, but there Adlington throws that left hand over the top, round the back now it slides, but she digs in, the head goes down. Souza, for the first time, looking not the most dominant out of the two, but rescues that as the leg comes across in front and draws Adlington down to the ground. Adlington once more tries desperately to throw that arm over the top. It was blocked in the engagement. She's holding the sleeve, she cross grips, comes round the back, leaves herself a little bit open on the attack on that leg, on the left leg. But still, Souza just playing just that little bit long of a waiting game. Hasn't put in as many attacks as Adlington has. Adlington cross grips, comes round the back, but she needs to use it, otherwise she'll be penalised for that. She lets go of that arm. She maintains the grip around the back, now tries to aim for the sleeve. Both of them are trying to grapple away, hunting for that sleeve grip. And both of them, I think, will pick up a Shido for that. Well, Adlington takes the Shido, and Souza now in a better advantage here with just one Shido on the board. Not much of an advantage, but still for Adlington, she cannot afford to make any silly errors here. She's got a good strong grip here now, but Souza just, as you can see, controlling nicely. She's not doing anything, but she's making sure Adlington doesn't do anything either. Now, if it come down to stalemate, neither one of them is another Shido, but which means that Adlington's already with 2 on the board, and Souza comes in with the hip throw, knocking Adlington to the ground. Now, that was one of the best throws or attempt of throwing from the Brazilian so far. Now for Adlington, she really has to be gutsy out there, and as she throws that arm, it needs to follow in with an attack. Those long legs that we know have been very effective, especially in the World Championship. It was one of the biggest throws for the heavyweights and the women in Baku, with a big harai goshi, which we know is very effective if she gets an opportunity to do it. But at this moment, she seems to be just playing a bit of a gripping game at the moment, and has been on the receiving end. Oh, she needs to be much stronger on the legs there. As once more Adlington stumbles down to the ground. And there's the third and final Shido. Goes to Adlington, and the win goes to Souza of Brazil.
Yeah, there are times when an athlete just isn't able to pull out not all the stops, but the stops that normally do something for them, and on that occasion, you know, you had a look at Adlington, you'd hope that she would, you know, find something to threaten Souza with, but unfortunately it just wasn't forthcoming. And you know, they're just athletes like that, you know, they have a feel for something, and if it's not there, it just doesn't come. Last or 2 weeks ago in Baku, it was a completely different Adlington, but today, unfortunately, that Adlington didn't show up.
No, I think right there, just the legs just didn't seem very strong there. She seemed to stumble on just the basic ashiwaza, and that was what a problem was for her there.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal contest. Anzela Gasparian of Russia faces teammate Xenia Chibisova. It'll be Gasparian in the white judogi, Chibisova in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Roberta Chiolia of Italy. Gasparian is a recent arrival in the Russian heavyweight ranks. Whereas
yeah, you can see her in the pitch. She's actually quite a strong looking athlete, isn't she, there?
Whereas Chibisova has been around for a little bit. 30 or 40 seconds, a burst of Chibisova should be enough to do it. If that doesn't happen, then your money goes on Gasparian.
Yeah, well, Chibisova, she's had some good matches here today. Those long legs, when she can connect, are very effective indeed. But Gasparian there picks up a Shido, totally walks out of the contest area.
Yeah, well, we know that Chibisova at the front end of the contest usually has an advantage over her opponents, because you look at the scoreboard after a minute and they're 2 Shidos down.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden Chibisova switches off.
Yeah, the legs seem to go beyond her, don't they?
Yeah.
She just, that condition-wise, seems to take its toll on when she gets further down the minutes.
She puts on all that pressure, gets herself into a nice, you know, advantage situation, but just from positioning. We haven't seen a big attack from her yet.
No.
It's really just tactical and positioning. The opponents find it difficult with the grips, difficult with the movement. They pick up penalties, and then all of a sudden, it's come the 3-minute mark, she kind of switches off. Well, we've reached that mark now, so
yeah, well,
we shall see.
Chibisova there is the Makikomi.
Oh, she's come up with a score.
And I think that's Ippon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big Makikomi.
Well, those long legs did come in, but it was a bit of a stumbling attack, wasn't it? It wasn't as sharp and flowed as well. It was a little bit of a knock and falling in the right direction.
Well, I think everything just worked for Chabisova in that attack. Gasparian was in absolutely in the right place. All the weight was going in the right direction, and whack, over she went. At least at the end there, she was, you know, had the wherewithal to say, "You okay? You all right? Didn't hurt you, did I?" Teammates will be all right, you know.
That's it. Well, a bronze and a 5th place go to Russia. Not bad. Not a bad day's work.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how, or whether Gasparian develops as a heavyweight at all, because, you know, there's nowhere else for her to go. She's way too heavy for under 78.
I just think she's quite short, but that's not to say, but when you're short, you need to be fast.
Yeah,
you need to be strong.
That combination
you need to be able to move, and I don't think we have that combination as yet with her.
Yeah, let's see whether they continue to invest in her.
Straight into the Osakami. She wasn't messing around there, but as you can see, it was highlights there. She stepped across Osota, but it was just very soft.
For me, that's a kind of amateur type role. It's the kind of way that you would see someone who is new or fairly new to judo getting caught and rolling over. There was no resistance.
She didn't know how to fall, did she, on that one?
Okay, we come now to the final of the plus 78 kilo category. Maria Suelen Altherman of Brazil faces Idalis Ortiz of Cuba. It's Altherman in the white judogi, Ortiz in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Everardo Garcia of Mexico.
Well, my favourite out here is Ortiz. I think she's entertained us throughout at the World Championships and here in Cancun. I think she's, what I feel of just based on sort of the balancing of performances, I think Ortiz has got a little more in her to take that gold spot, but when it comes to the clash of styles, well, it can be anybody's. Altherman for Brazil, as you can see there in our picture, she comes in, looks very much in the zone, and you've got that mummy little image of Ortiz as she comes across into the contest area.
Well, I don't know, they say unlucky 13, don't they?
Yes,
well, they've fought 13 times. Altherman has lost every one of them.
Well, they say, possibly, maybe the 13th, 14th lucky.
Yeah, she could
change
break
the mold.
that cycle.
Yeah.
I don't know of another record like that.
That is just amazing, that record.
13 times they've gone up against each other, and all 13 have gone the way of Idalis Ortiz. Both fighters pick up a penalty apiece. Yep. Most recently at the World Championships in Baku in the semi-final.
She gave her a better run for her money there. That was a good match. It was really a hard-fought match.
She's never scored on her, not once. She has never scored on Ortiz.
Well, when Ortiz gets those hips through, well, there's no stopping her, isn't there? She's not only is she very skillful in what she does, but there's a lot of power, and there can be that speed as well. For such a heavy lady, she can react quite quickly. She's very sharp. Now there's again, you see that little skip there was quite a sharp movement from a standstill positioning, and she sacrificed herself there. She did get the turn, it was all hers, but didn't do enough to get the score, the Wazari she was hoping for, even the Ippon, but right on the edge of the contest area. Just needed a little bit more rotation as she lifted Altherman. Altherman trying to keep that left arm from coming high onto the collar. She's now got the right round the back, again comes back onto the lapel, blocking Athima's left side, trying to draw that head in. She's a couple of taps to the leg, more not an attack but a distraction. 1 for 1. Ortiz drawing her weight onto Athima, double lapel at this moment. Again, neither one of them wanting to make that. Well, there's only been one attack, and that's Ortiz so far. Athima coming out, tried to change grip to a high collar. Ortiz was in there, the hip throw.
Well, Alphaman has got to do something about changing these statistics, because, you know, 13 losses and you never scored. You may as well go large here and try something.
Well, that's what you would think, wouldn't you? It's just not. Again, Ortiz moves very quickly, out of sight, gets that spin on it. Just doesn't manage to get the score, but she just needs a little bit more tweaking on it. And I think what she would get if Athima actually attacked, she would get that leverage, but because she's doing it from a standstill position, she's just not getting the movement that she's requiring. And I think that will only be effective if Athima starts reacting now and putting in the attacks. And here you have, she's starting to react because she's 2 Shidos down, so she's got to start doing something. Otherwise she's just going to have to throw in the towel and say, well, I'm going to go for a Hansokumaki.
Which may not be that far off.
15 seconds in this match. You just sense that Ortiz is just waiting to just allow her enough room to be able to react so that she can counter.
Yeah, she's had a couple of stabs at the Sutemi Waza. The first one was, you know, a bit of a dud. The second one was slightly closer, but nothing really to.
Athima hasn't really done anything.
Well, she hasn't done anything
done nothing
at all. Yeah.
There's been nothing there. So when someone's not attacking or even reacting, it's very hard to get in there. And she has had a couple of attempts with the Sutemi Waza, but other than that, there's very little she can do if her opponent's just not going to move. It's like hitting a brick wall, isn't it? And a couple of times she has hit that brick wall. She's put herself in a position that if she mistimes it, she could land flat on her back and Athima be straight on top for the Osakomi. So Ortiz has been a little bit more gutsy. There's the Seanagi. Again, 3 good strong attacks from Ortiz. Athima has got to be picking up a 3rd and final Shido now. Again, it's not something we like to see, but unless your opponent's going to attack, there's not a lot you can do other than dish out the Shidos.
Well, Idalis Ortiz of Cuba it is, who takes the gold medal in the plus 78 kilo category. Come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 100 kilo category. And the medals are going to be presented by the IJF competition manager, Dr. Lisa Allen. The first of the bronze medals goes to Aaron Farrer of Austria. There's a bronze medal too for Rafael Buzzacarini of Brazil. Silver medal goes to Laurin Böhler of Austria. The gold medal goes to Niaz Bilalov of Russia. Now the national anthem of Russia. Farrer and Buzzacarini were the bronze medalist. Silver went to Böhler and the gold went to Bilalov. Okay, we've got one more weight category to bring you, and that is the plus 100 kilo category. The first of the bronze medal contests features Daniel Allerstorfer, another Austrian. He's up against David Mura of Brazil. It'll be Allerstorfer in the white judogi, Mura in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Vyacheslav Peredyeko of Uzbekistan. Here's Loretta.
Yeah, I've been looking forward. Do you know what? For me, the most exciting matches today have been coming out of the super heavyweights. I've found quite a few, especially when we're looking at a little bit later on when we'll be seeing the final with two really strong opponents, and that's the real sort of highlight for me today, is to watch that match coming up with Kripalik of Czech Republic and Granda of Cuba. But these two athletes, Allerstorfer for me is a strong athlete, showing some real nice judo here, moves very elegantly on the mat for a big heavy man. And the Brazilians, David Mura has always impressed us, always delighted us with his performances, and this is going to be a very interesting match against two very strong and capable athletes. Seeing Aggie there from Allerstorfer. First exchange from these two. Oh, David Mura. Oh, want to take his time, as he normally does. He loves to set this up. He's got that lapel grip. He's got nice judo for a heavyweight. Takes the lapel once more, this time over the top, trapping the right side of Alistoffer, controlling the right arm. So left against right, both opting for very similar grips, lapel, sleeve. Mora drawing to the edge of the Uchimata, his favourite techniques, and one that's very effective when he gets the opportunity to engage. Once more, Mora on the left side comes over the top, takes the lapel, trapping the right side of Alistoffer. Sienagi there, beautifully done. Morote Sienagi. And again, so sharp and moves so well. The speed of entry there. Uses the feet to try and get a reaction from Alistoffer. Sienagi once more. But the Uchimata and a switch, almost switched to Sumigeshi. Mora high on the lapel of both sides, drawing the weight down and controlling Alistoffer's head there, just taking oh, what a miss there. Mora came in for the Uchimata, totally misjudged that, and Alistoffer was just that little bit too slow to react, to be able to capitalise on that mistake. Once more, the Brazilian comes in. A little bit of a clash there, but so far the pace of this contest has been dominated by the Brazilian so far. In the left hand over the top, taking the lapel, blocking the right side of Alistoffer as he pulls him. Oh yes! Well, he come in for the Uchimata and Alistoffer stepped right across, and yes, it was Ippon, but he's not going to let that one go. Well, what a turnaround. Up until then, Mora had dominated throughout. A couple of exchanges, some nice exchanges with the Sienagis. A little bit of a miss, which we saw just earlier on with the Uchimata, where I said Alistoffer just missed an opportunity. But the next time in the exchange of that Uchimata was there, he did not miss that opportunity.
We were also talking about the possibility of Austria taking 3 medals in this final block, and they have. Because Farah won his bronze medal contest. There was a silver for Laurin Böhler, and now there's another bronze medal here for Daniel Alistoffer.
Well, that's some result from Austria, isn't it? They've had some great results this weekend.
Well, they'll add that to their 2 gold medals that they won. Yeah, Sukeshi, wasn't it?
Yeah. And he had the opportunity before, but he missed that one. He was slow to react, but he looked like he was waiting. He was setting that one up again. That once more,
definitely.
Up until then, Mora was doing the Cianagis, and they were very effective. He attempted that Uchimata a couple of times, and it was what cost him that medal.
Oh, nimble, light-footed Daniel Allersdorfer.
Allersdorfer. Old twinkle toes, as you would call them.
Well, he avoids the Uchimata and actually catches him with Harai Goshi, doesn't he, to be honest?
It's a Harai straight across.
Yeah.
But he sidestepped it, but he looked like he was waiting for it. He didn't catch it the last time, but it was totally misjudged the last time by Mora.
Coming up next, the second of the bronze medal contests in the plus 100 kilo category. Vladut Simonescu of Romania faces Tamerlan Bashaev of Russia. It's Simonescu in the white judogi, Bashaev in blue, and the referee for this one in the middle is Friedrich Anna Maria of Hungary.
Simonescu is most probably one of the biggest in this weight category, if not possibly one of the heaviest.
Here's the big fella making his way out to the tatami.
Well, I remember when one of the first times he came on the scene, he was such a baby-faced looking athlete, and he just seems to be becoming a real bear now, as we've seen him. But look at the size difference.
No, it's not David and Goliath. It's Vladut and Tamerlan.
Look, there's a size difference here.
Bashaev, however, has got some of the nicest throwing skills in the plus 100 kilo category. If he can get past the defence of Simonescu, you'll see
definitely
the Romanian rolling, I'm sure.
Well, this is definitely for Bashaev. This is it's going to be a tough one. There's a lot of weight difference there and size. He's got to be able to move him, but we're looking at a Shido, I think. Well, Simonescu it's going to. Don't know what she's looking for there. Something flew off, but
I've never seen that before. One of the advertising stickers. She was told, take that from the back of his jacket. They just didn't say which fighter it was.
She was looking for it.
Poor Anna Maria. That was not. Could have told her.
That's on the retakes, isn't it? That one. That's a shame. Bashaev trying to draw his opponent down to his size.
It's the Sode that he's got to look out for, isn't it, Simonescu? Because Bashaev threw the current world champion with a beautiful Sode, so he's got to look out for that.
He's looking like to try and set it up, but I don't think he'll get the Sodi from here. I think there's more chance of him stepping across for that Tayatoshi or even stumbling him to the rear. I sort of sense with the positioning of the hand, but he needs to come under the arm.
That's
At the moment, he's actually blocking himself as that arm's inside. So it's a Shido apiece.
And he tries to come inside there, look.
Yeah, and if he gets inside, he could step across for, as you can see, he tries to turn, but he needs to move him, there's no doubt about it. He needs to get the big man moving.
Yeah, it was Guram Tusishvili that he threw, getting right underneath his opponent. That's what he's looking to do here. Cianaghi,
he comes in there. Simonescu really hasn't. Well, he went to walk away and he still had him hold of the kit, so he wasn't going anywhere. Simonescu more or less pulled him back in and saying, I haven't finished with you yet. So there's still more to be seen. Let's talk about this. So he's there. But you just sense that Simonescu is going to get that third and final Shido. If he doesn't do anything now, he's got to put an attack in. He's trying to set it up, but his brain's wanting to do it, but his body's just not moving at this moment in time. Bashayev, obviously only the one Shido, can afford to be stalemate, but there's a Sianagi, a good movement. He gets right underneath him, but Simonescu really hasn't done anything as yet.
He's not going to catch him when he's flat-footed.
No.
Simonescu must be taking a step forward, or at least have some of that weight coming forward.
Well, he's got to get that grip off the back of his neck.
No.
Bashayev coming in, just dropped there a little bit too short. I'd always think that he maybe Kochigari, yeah, good answer for that.
Yeah, he could be wrapping it up here.
Yeah, I think
Simonescu
so.
hasn't done anything.
He hasn't, no.
He's waiting for the big throw, but like a lot of heavyweights, they just mistime things. You cannot wait for that long. And Simonescu just, was waiting for the chance. Bashayev did the right thing, just kept popping in the attacks. None of them really looked as though they were going to throw him. No. One after another, they were just enough to add up to the point where the referee said, okay, if you're not going to give it a go, then you may as well go off.
Well, tactically he played a good match against Simonescu, and I think Simonescu just played that waiting game far too long. He just needs to now start using his size, and when he's capable he can throw. He's got that Makakomi, and with the size of a man like that, who's going to stop it if they can enter? Well, this is a match I've been really waiting for.
We come now to the final of the plus 100 kilo category for men. Lucas Kapalik of the Czech Republic faces Andy Granda of Cuba. It's Kapalik in the white judogi, Granda in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Roberta Chioglia of Italy.
Kapalik, number 2 in the world ranking, and today has definitely been out on his own in his half of the draw. I don't think anyone's been even really close to taking him off that number 1 seeded position as he's come through to the final here of the super heavyweights, the plus 100s.
I love that.
I love the
super heavyweight.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really do. Instead it's heavyweights, you just super heavyweights. It sounds even better. Something I've stolen from you.
Oh, I love that. Go ahead. Andy Granda faces the tough task of Lucas Kapalik.
Well, can Granda, following the footsteps of Ortiz, who just picked up her medal, and the plus 78s, the super heavyweights for women, and make it a double act for Cuba. Well, Kapalik, one thing we know is his transition is a great size of a heavyweight athlete that not only has good technical Sutemi waza attacks, but he also has great niwaza.
Granda himself has only in the last year moved up to plus 100 kilos. He was an under 100 kilo category fighter before, so it's a nice matchup between this pair, Kapalik having moved up after Rio.
Well, both at this moment sizing each other. Granda with 1 Shido at the moment in the early stages of this contest. Kapalik picking up a Shido himself now, so it's 1 apiece. Comes over the high collar grip on the left side. Granda looking to attempt, but this is like... Well, there was a foot sweep there for Kripalik, but possibly alluring him into the knee wazo he was looking for there. Didn't get the effect that was desired, but still, we're coming up to the halfway mark now, and only a Shido apiece divides them here. Very little. It's 1 for 1. Good gripping skills from both of these athletes. The thing that makes, I feel, Kripalik just that little bit stronger, that gives him the edge, is that his knee waza skills are so strong, and he's really on form here today with that transition work. So if he can get Granda down into the knee waza, then this could be, but he has to get him down there, and that was a lovely attack from Granda. Kripalik just biting his lip there, just annoyed with himself. He allowed the elbow to be tucked up for the Sodi and stepped across, didn't get in deep enough, but it was a really big threat, and he's got a score. Wow, I wasn't sure there.
Referee just checking to see that it was Wazari, and confirms it now. Okay, minute 20 odd, here we go.
Well, Kripalik really has to do some work now. He's capable, there's no doubt about it, but Granda can throw. And those Sodis, the Sianagis, if Kripalik comes onto him, he can fall over on the receiving end of him, but he's going to get him down on the ground, I think. And there you have it. It's a Wazari. He placed both hands down to brace himself on that throw, and now Kripalik goes into where he loves, and that's the knee waza. Back up onto their feet. Kripalik frustrated because he thought he had him on the line there. He knew he was getting an opportunity for the ground, and it was a mate situation.
Yeah, I don't think that the knee was going to result in Kripalik getting that. He had the leg trap really well, and he had the hand in there as well. The leg that he wanted to use wasn't coming out, and she caught it quite quickly, but it wasn't going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Why waste any time?
The last thing you want is this going to go to score when they can possibly just finish this in the first round, the 4 minutes. Kripalik there with the left hand high on the collar, drawing Granda's head down. Not happy there.
Well, Granda was a little bit silly there. He just leaned on him a little bit, did
Kripalik. Up his second Shido now.
You know, it wasn't a push out, it was just a little lean, and said, well, you know, unless you really push back, you're not coming back in. And he didn't, and he picked up a penalty.
Kripalik will come in for the Sumigaeshi here, I feel. He's going to do a Sutemi Wazu, wants him down in the ground. There you've got it, straight in. Looking for the Niwaza. You could see that being set up.
Easy for you to say.
Cuban coach saying, get up, stay up, don't go down there. You know the danger. Kripalik is just too strong in the ground.
Well, that was, go on, Loretta.
And he knows that.
It's golden score now.
So here you've got it, 2 Shidos to 1, a Wazari apiece. And there you have Kripalik with the head down once more, drawing in the Oso Tagari. Granda just trying to disengage it from his opponent. What a difference of a fighter right now. He seems to have just hit the wall with the Sumigaeshi there.
And there it is.
Over the top.
Yeah, Sutemi Waza.
Ippon.
No argument about that.
Well, they definitely had a battle on their end, but Kripalik really got a bit of a wake-up call on that first exchange.
He can laugh now.
He can laugh now, but he wasn't earlier on. Yeah, he nearly wiped that smile off his face in the first exchange of a Wazari. Oh, a great, exciting final match.
Yeah, a good round of applause for both the fighters.
Yeah, it was a good match and a great one to finish on, to be honest.
Well, it was, wasn't it? I mean, it had everything in there, you know,
Yes.
Kapalik going behind, Kapalik coming back, and you absolutely picking exactly the position and the timing when he was going to launch that Sutsemiwaza. You could see it sitting from where you were sitting.
Yeah.
Poor old Granda couldn't see it, and he was standing on top of it. Sometimes you can be a little bit too close to the action.
Yes,
perhaps.
that's it. Looking on the outside in is a much better view. Being on the receiving end is not so comfortable, I would imagine.
Well, the journey continues for Lucas Kapalik. His goal is to medal, a gold medal, that's his goal, in Tokyo 2020 in the plus 100 kilo category. And given that we are still, you know, well over a year and a half away from that, the fact that Kapalik has already picked up a 5th place in the World Championships, is the current European champion, and has collected a number of, you know, medals in the plus 100 kilo category. This is not somebody who's getting used to the category.
No,
he's already there.
No, he's already climbing up there, isn't he? He's definitely becoming a real contender towards the Olympic Games.
We come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the plus 78 kilo category. And Manuel Larrañaga is presenting the medals. The first of the bronze medals goes to Ksenia Chibisova of Russia. There's a bronze medal too for Beatriz Souza of Brazil. The silver medal goes to Maria Suelen Altherman of Brazil. And the gold medal goes to Idalis Ortiz of Cuba. There's a big hand from her vanquished opponent there, Maria Suelen Altherman. 14 it is now. Sorry, I know I shouldn't have mentioned it, but a bit of a record, isn't it?
Get to keep her when she's 15. Oh, some highlights there, some really nice movement.
And now the national anthem of Cuba. Chibisova and Souza were the bronze medal winners. Altherman took the silver, but it was Ortiz who walked away with the gold medal. We're going to have a look at some highlights here now, and then we'll be back with the last awarding ceremony for the men in the plus 100 kilo category. Right, well, we're ready with the awarding ceremony for the men in the plus 100 kilo category. The athletes are making their way to the podium, and to present the medals, it'll be the International Judo Federation Head Sport Director, Mr. Vladimir Barta. First of the bronze medals goes to Tamerlan Bashayev of Russia. There's a bronze medal for a very popular Daniel Allerstorfer of Austria. Silver medal goes to Andy Grander of Cuba. And the gold medal goes to Lucas Kapalek of the Czech Republic. Well, it's Russia who end up on top of the medal table. 2 gold, 2 silver and 2 bronze. The Austrians ran them very close. 2 gold, a silver and 2 bronze. There were 2 gold medals for Cuba as well, and then there was a gold medal for Brazil, Belgium, Spain, Czech Republic, Netherlands, Argentina, Japan and Sweden. We're going to have more judo for you from the Grand Slam in Abu Dhabi on the 27th of October, but from Loretta Cusack-Doyle and myself, it's bye-bye for now.
Goodbye.
Now the national anthem of the Czech Republic.